Turn up to this one, Worcester Bosch 30 SI. Boiler works perfectly fine, heating and hot water is okay. Previous engineer that serviced it told the customer it needed some new parts and said that it needed new heat exchanger, new electrodes, new gas tube. So here I am giving the customer what they want. I'm not going to go too in depth because I've done several videos on heat exchangers, but I'm just going to highlight a few top tips that I use to make this easy. In my opinion, it doesn't need a new heat exchanger, but there we go. It's actually in good condition considering it was fitted in 2007. So I've got to drain it down, and sometimes these drain offs can be a bit of a pain. So here we are, I've got Eddie here to help me. There's a guy that makes these and they're absolutely awesome. It literally slides onto the drain off and then it gives you plenty of leverage to open it while still allowing for your hose to be on. I don't personally sell these, but I'll tag the guy that does. Drop him a message to get your hands on one. I think they're absolutely awesome, to be fair. My personal preference would be orange, but yellow will do. So anyway, enough promo. To help drain down, pop the diverter valve motor out. It's a dry pocket so you won't get wet. Next thing I'm going to do is pump up the expansion vessel. This also blows any water out. Use grips for the fan connector and just wiggle it out. This prevents you pulling on the cables and damaging them. Here's another look at Eddie, in case you didn't see him before. Anyway, back to business. 13mm ratchet spanner on the top to undo the nut. This is another one of my top tips. Remove the nut, then remove the securing plate, then put the nut back on. Only needs to be tightened finger tight really. This just makes it easier for you to spin the fan assembly out. Here we can see I'm doing it one-handed. Needs a bit of a wiggle, but it comes out. If you don't have that nut on, the plate's flapping around everywhere, the electrodes are getting involved and there's just no need for it. While leaving that nut on, it also makes it a stable situation to pull the electrodes and flame rectification cable off. It's all about just making it nice and easy for yourself. Once they're done, whip the nut off and then you can take the clamp off, take the burner out. Works better if you get your finger underneath and just lift it out like that. To be fair, those electrodes and flame rectification did need doing. The previous engineer must have had x-ray vision. To remove the flow elbow, plenty of WD-40, pull the clip out and then just get a flathead screwdriver and just pop it off. And then I'll just literally spin it out the way. Some say bigger isn't always better, and this little mini ratchet set is perfect for this. It's a PZ2 bit. You kind of got to find the screw with your fingers and then put that on. There's one screw to the right, one screw to the left. Take those both all the way out and then the support bracket will come off. You can see the plastic spacer is broke anyway. The heat exchanger comes with a new one of those, so not to worry. So here's another top tip. You can see how it's pretty well in. It's stuck on that return pipe. So I'm going to get my crowbar and I'm going to put the crowbar between the return pipe and the case, and then I'm going to pull it forward. This stops the case bending. And you can see it just pops off. There's another top tip with getting O-rings off. Just use a little flathead screwdriver and just pop them off like that. Sometimes it's these little tips that can save you minutes. Everyone has their own way of doing things, but I just made this video to show you mine. Right, we're going to put everything back in reverse order. Once that's clamped back down, not all the way, I'm going to pop that back in. With that all back together, the clips all put together, the cables all pushed in, we're going to do our 26.9s. We've got 9.2 on minimum, which is spot on. We're going to flip it to max. We're going to look for 9.8, which we've got. And there's a few top tips, and there's another one done. Happy days.